Welcome class. Today's lessons, lesson 1-6, make new groups for addition. Strong mathematicians can learn to add 4-digit numbers. So we learned about different place values and different groupings. Now we're going to start adding those different groupings together. There are 3 different ways that we can have. So in your notebook right now, you can put today's date and box 1 of your notes to help you refer back to as your examples as we move through the course of this lesson. So there are 3 different ways to add. We're going to talk about why we do each different way. We have new groups above, which probably most of you have been doing for a long time. So new groups below is another way that we could work on our adding, and show subtotals. All the different ways that we teach is because, like I said, if you're working with another person and they might do it in a different method than you do and you get different answers, you can't just say, I don't know how you do it. You can be able to understand how they get an answer as they can understand how you get yours, and you figure out where you had a different response. So we're going to start with showing subtotals. So we're going to add each place value together separately, and then we're going to add all of our subtotals together. So 9 plus 4 is 13. In my tens group, I have 7 plus 5, which means I'm going to have a 0 here. 7 plus 5 is 12. In my hundreds group, so I know I have 0 in my tens, or ones, and 0 in my tens. 8 plus 7 is 15. And with my thousands, that means I would have a 0 in my ones, 0 in my tens, 0 in my hundreds. Said 5 plus 6 is 11. Now all I need to do is take all those numbers and add them up. Well, in my ones, I just have a 3. 1 plus 2 is 3 and nothing else. Said 100 and 500 equals 600. 1,000 and another 1,000 equals 2,000. And a 1 in the 10,000. So I get 12,633. So I took each of the groups, added them together. So my ones place value is here. Here are my tens, my hundreds, and my thousands. Then I added all those subtotals up, and I got the answer of 12,633. Now if we go through these, see if my answer is correct. Let's see if these, my other strategies, I get the same answer. So new groups below. So instead of putting the, when we can carry, said 9 plus 4 is 13, but we can only put one number in each place value, which means my 3 is going to go here, and then my 1, it says new groups below, is going to go right there underneath it. Why I like to put it there sometimes in the new groups below group is that way I don't forget it. I know in the new groups above, sometimes we have numbers above the numbers, we get them lost. Here it's below, so as we work from top to bottom, we don't forget that. So 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So here's the 3 again, and I can move another 1 right here. In my hundreds group, 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So my 6 goes here with my 1 right over there. And now 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 1 is 12. So I have 12,633. We notice that these both equal. So obviously we're hoping that our answer is correct. Also, next thing about this is you can kind of check each subtotal as well. Here's 13. Said 7, 5, and 1 is 13. So you're able to check easily each of your place values. Now the way that most of us have been doing it and we feel most comfortable with is the new groups above, which is fine. Same strategy, 9 plus 4 is 13. The 1 goes up top. 1 plus 7, I always say make sure you add that 1 first to the top number before you move down to the next number. So 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1, so 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16, so it's a 6. And we put the 1 over the thousands. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12,633. So notice each method we chose still gets us to the same answer. It's just what do you feel most comfortable doing and repeating. So pause the video, make sure you write down each of the different methods, even though you might lean to one more likely, but we want you to be familiar and at least be able to look back and think, oh, here's how they do show subtotals. Here's how they do new groups below. Here's how they do new groups above. So now we're going to do these different examples in different ways. So I can use any example I like. So I'm going to do one of each just because I like to show you that, yes, some people might just choose to do them one way. I prefer to practice all the different varieties just because that way, if anytime I meet someone else that might do it differently and we have a different answer, we are able to discuss and figure out what one of us did wrong and help each other out to grow as learners. So I'm going to use this one right here so you can write down these examples as well. We're going to do this subtotal one. So in the ones place value, 6 plus 3 is 9. Said in my tens place value, so I'm going to put 1, 7, and then a 0 because 8 plus 9 is 17. In my hundredths, I got 4 plus 2 is 6, so that would be 600. And in my thousands, 3,000 plus 5,000 equals 8,000. As you notice, it's very important when I'm adding, especially in the subtotal method, that I keep my place values in the correct spot. Now when I add these up, I get 9 here in the 1. 7 plus 0 is 7. 1 plus 6 plus 0 is 7. And then I can bring down the 8. 8,779 using my showing subtotals group. So the next method I'm going to choose is the groups below, which I believe I made in green last time, so I'll keep that same color. So I'm going to start with my ones place value. Notice we always want to start with our smallest place value working over to our biggest place value. So 6 plus 5 is 11. So my 1 can stay here, and my other 1 will go up here. So 11 equals 6 plus 5. 8 tens plus 3 tens equals 11 tens, plus 1 more 10 would be 12 tens. I only put one place value, so if I have 12 tens, my 2 would go here, and my 1 would go into my hundreds. I have 7 hundredths, plus 3 hundredths is 10 hundredths, plus 1 more hundred would be 11 hundredths. So my 1 would go here, and my other 1 would go right there. Now I'm adding my thousands. 3,000 plus 6,000 is 9,000, plus the 1,000 would give me 10,000. Since I have no more place values to go, I can just bring my 1 straight down. So I have an answer of 10,121 using the new groups below strategy. On our last strategy, the new groups above, which are probably like, thank you, Mr. King, for finally doing it this way. In the ones place value, 8 ones plus 3 ones is 11. Bring it up top. So make sure I don't forget my 1 up top. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. So my 3 goes here. My 1 goes on top of the hundreds. 100 plus 500 is 600. Plus 200 is 800. Nothing to carry because that's only a single digit number. 2,000 plus 7,000 is 9,000, so my number would be 9,831. So you can pause the video right now. Make sure you write down these examples to help guide you and help you out as you do your own examples. The other thing is that if we're just working on computations, this is great, but now we got to start working on word problems and understanding word problems and getting information from word problems. Robin's grandmother gave her $138 for her birthday, and her uncle gave her $25. How much did Robin get altogether? So we look at this problem, we're thinking, all right, so her grandmother gives her some money, her uncle gives her some money, and now how much did she have altogether? So kind of visualizing the problem, and we'll work on more specific word problem strategies as we continue to move on. So I have one number and another number, and they want to know how much money does Robin have altogether. So she had $138 from her grandmother, and she got $25 from her uncle. So it's very important when we write and working on adding numbers, we put them so their place values line up and match up. So 25, our 5 is in the 1, so is our 8, so we lined up. We're going to put the plus sign here, and we're going to add those numbers together. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1 up top. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And we need a label. How much did she have altogether? $163. So you can just write down the example. I don't necessarily have to write down the whole entire word problem, but write down the work to see how we're using the method and the strategy as we move forward. So now it's your turn to try some of these examples. We have 3 example problems right here. I would challenge you to do all of the different types of methods. I wouldn't just do one method. I would try to vary it up and use different methods to see if you can understand and follow along and be able to perform each method. If you're not sure, if you try one of the method you're not used to, go back to the one you're most comfortable with and double check your work that way. So you can pause the video right now and try these 3 sample problems. And you'll also have a word problem try to solve this problem. Billy has $378 in his savings account. He puts in $224, which is all his money he earned over the summer. How much is now in Billy's savings account? So you can pause this problem right now. We'll go work it out and see if you have the answer. Make sure when there's a word problem, we need to make sure we also have a label. So make sure you label your number with a label. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to jot those down. That gives us a chance to talk about those and help you further understand the skill. If there are any strategies that you use that were different than what was taught in the video, make sure you jot those down as well to help other students out in your class that may benefit from learning the way that you learned it.